Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Nahmaduhu wa nusalli ala rasulihi al-kareem. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Are you able to hear me, brothers and sisters? Jazakallah khair. Okay. Today we are going to start a new topic, and this topic will be the background for lesson 18, 19, 20. So it's a new topic, and it is going to deal with how do you address dual or pair in Arabic language. So until now, what you have learned is mostly sentences dealing with single persons or sentences dealing with many people, more than three, plural, jama. And as I mentioned earlier, that in Arabic language, there is a special category for dual or pairs. So it's not just singular and plural in Arabic language. It is singular, dual, and plural. So inshallah, today we are going to learn about duals today, or pair. So let's take some examples of Arab, and those are some of the examples. So let's say najihun, which means successful. Okay. Now in the halat of rafa, it is najihun. In nasab, it is najihan, and in the halat of jar, it will be najihin. Okay, so this is fully flexible. Now when it comes to muthanna, okay, as I mentioned, all the duals are salim. All the duals are salim. When it comes to jama are salim and taksir. There are two types of jama, salim and taksir. But when it comes to duals or pairs, they are all salim. Okay. So najihan, najihaini, najihaini. Okay. Now the jama salim for this will be najihuna, najihina, najihina. The same thing if I want to make this muannas. So I will just add ta marbuta to this. So it will become najihatun, najihatan, najihatin. And what will be the musanna? The dual for that? Najihatani, najihatani in the nasab form, najihatani in the halat of jar. Okay. And in the plural form, it will be najihatun, najihatin, najihatin. Okay. Couple of more examples before I go to the topic of dual. Waladun, okay, waladan, waladin, waladani. Walad means, you know the meaning of walad? Walad is a boy. Okay. Waladani means two boys. Waladaini, waladaini. Now, for walad, the jama is not jama salim. The jama is not jama salim, which is jama taksir. So what is it? Awladun, awladan, awladin. And I explained to you earlier, jama taksir are normally fully flexible. Okay, except partly flexible mamnu min as-sarf. I have explained to you at different times mentioning different conditions on different wazn and all those things I've already mentioned, and I'll be taking more, inshallah, in future. So these are muzakkar. Now, imra'atun. Imra'atun means a woman. Imra'atun, imra'atan, imra'atin. Now, what will be the two women? Imra'atani, imra'ataini, imra'ataini. And what will be the plural? Any guess? Jama taksir? You can answer it in chat. What will be the plural for a woman? Imra'atun. What will be the jama? Yes. Nisa'un, nisa'an, nisa'in. Okay. Okay. One more last example. Akhun means a brother. Akhan, akhin. And musanna of that is akhawani. So this is akhun is is a special case here, because it is having only two letters here. Okay. And when you make it dual, so I mentioned that alif, ba, and ya, it is part of these are called huruf illat, and so they take different forms. Okay. So akhawani, akhawaini, and akhawaini. And what will be the jama taksir for the akhun? Any answer? For akhun, what is the jama taksir? Brothers. We have taken many examples when we were doing jama, the topic of jama. Ikhwatun, good. Ikhwatun, ikhwatan, ikhwati, good. Now, bintun. Bintun means a girl, or bintun also means a daughter. Okay, bintan, bintin. Now, the dual for that is bintani, bintani, bintani. And jama taksir for this is banatun, banatan, banat. Now, there are a few words like sa'atun, means a watch. Sa'atani, the musanna of that is sa'atani. And the jama of that is sa'atun. Sa'atun. Riyalun. Now, this riyalun is an exception here. Riyal is a currency of Saudi Arabia. Now, the dual of that is again jama salim, so you say riyalani. Or when it comes to jama, and it is riyalatun. Okay, when it comes to jama, it is riyalatun. Riyalun, riyalani, riyalatun. Though riyalun is muzakkar. Riyalun, actually the riyal is muzakkar, but its jama is riyalatun. This is how it has been accepted. Okay, so this is an exception here. Ghurfatun, ghurfatani, ghurafun. Ghurafun is the jama of room. Ghurfatun means a room. Ghurafatani means two rooms. Ghurafun means plural, rooms. Okay. Now, today I'm going to teach you a new topic called Tamyeez. Tamyeez. What is Tamyeez? So it's an ism that is in the state of mansoob. It is in the halat of nasab. It is always in halatun nasbin. It is a singular ism. It is not plural, remember. It is wahid and nasab. Wahid and mansoob. Okay. And it comes in the sentence to remove the ambiguity of the sentence. So there are some sentences which will be ambiguous. So the meaning is incomplete unless and until you supply tamyeez with that. So I will give you an example. So for example, there is a sentence called Ana akbaru minka. Ana akbaru means I am bigger. And now you have not learned the comparative and the superlative. Inshallah, it will be taught to you later, but you can know the meaning of this. Akbaru means bigger. Okay. Ana akbaru minka. Then you, from you, means I'm compared to you, I'm big. Now, this sentence is ambiguous. Why it is ambiguous? Because it is the meaning is still not very clear. The sentence looks complete, but bigger in what? The question will come in your mind that Ana akbaru minka in what? So a question will come, am I big in, I'm bigger than you in age? Am I bigger than you in height? It can be so many meanings. Now, tamyeez is the thing that will elaborate that. Tamyeez is the thing that will elaborate that part. So it will remove that ambiguity. Okay, understood, brothers and sisters? So for example, there is a sentence called Anta akbaru minni. You are bigger than me. Then in what? Malan. In wealth. You are bigger than me in wealth. This is the sentence. Now there is no ambiguity in this. So the meaning is elaborated. The meaning is, the ambiguity of that is just removed by just adding one word. By just adding one word. Okay. Now malan, this is what? This is in the halat of nasab. This is in the halat of nasab. Why? Because it is taking double fatha, right? The actual word is malun, and it is malan, and it is singular. Why? So you are bigger than me in wealth. Okay. So this is removing the ambiguity of that. Same thing here also. And akbaru minka, something. So that's something that removes the ambiguity, which comes in as a singular mansoob, that is called tamyeez. That is called tamyeez. So malan here is tamyeez. Understood or not, brothers and sisters? Malan here is tamyeez. Okay, is it clear? Okay. Now there is a new ism that you are going to learn today, that is kam. This is called ismu. This is ismu istifham. Kam, which means how much. So when you go to the market, when you ask, when you're buying something, you ask how much is this, how much is that, and how many. So it means it is used for both how much and how many. So the moment you say how much, the moment you say come, it has an ambiguity in that. And what is the ambiguity? How much or how many of what? Because something is not clear. How much of what? Okay, so the ambiguous part of come is a question will come to your mind. How much of what? How many of what? Clear? Now, that's why you have to give tamyeez with come. You have to supply tamyeez with come. Okay? So, the answer to what means the question will come. It puts a question in your mind, or it puts what this question it puts in your mind. That answer to that is tamyeez. The answer to that is tamyeez. Hence, tamyeez will be supplied with kam, and it is singular mansoob. It's singular mansoob. Understood, brothers and sisters? Take an example of that. Kam kitaban indak. Kam kitaban indak. How many? Now here kam means how many. How many books are with you? Now I'm talking about when I'm doing the normal translation in English, then I'm saying books, right? I'm saying books. So I'm saying kam kitaban, but I'm saying singular. Okay, Siraj. So you have a question. What do you want me to repeat? The previous slide? The previous slide. You understood the Tamyeez part? You understood the Tamyeez, right? Okay. So if I say how much of what? The question will come to your mind. How much of what? So you have to supply how much of money, how many of books. Okay. You will always ask. So if you go to the market, so then you are asking a person and you're buying something. So normally you are saying how much is this, but in your mind, you have hidden how much, how many riyals or how many dirhams or how many rupees is this. That's what is there in your mind. Sometimes you don't say the name of the currency, but the proper sentence will be how much rupees is the cost of this, something like that. That's how you will ask, correct? So when come, just writing come doesn't elaborates everything. It's how much. It's just incomplete. So you have to, with come, you have to say something more. And that something more is tamyiz. Understood, Siraj? That something more is tamyiz. Yes. So you, from examples, you will understand. So for example here, kam kitaban indak. Actually, the meaning of this question is how many books do you have? But kitaban is in the mansoob form, but it is singular. Kitaban is in mansoob form, it is singular. So, but since it is tamyiz, it is written as singular. Since it is tamyiz, it is written as singular, but it means plural here. It means plural here. Understood, brothers and sisters? Kam kitaban indak. So it is wrong to say kam kutuban indak. Kam kutuban indak, because kutuban will be what? It will be jama. Kutubun. Kutubun will be jama, right? But it is wrong. Grammatically, it is wrong. The moment you are saying kam, it is supplied with tamyiz, and tamyiz has to be mansoob, but singular. Wahid. Clear or not, brothers and sisters? Is this clear? Or do you want me to repeat? Is this clear? Okay. So, kam kitaban indaka? How many books do you have? So let's say I reply, I have 2 books. I have 2 books. What will be the answer of that? I have 2 books. Write your answers in the chat, either YouTube or Zoom chat. عندي كتابان. Well done, sister. عندي كتابان. Why عندي? Because I mentioned to you, عند and li, when they come, these are mutalik bil khabar. And when they come as muqaddam, then they give the sense of, have or has. Understood? They give the sense of have or has. So indi. Now 2 books, you will not say kutubun, because in Arabic there is a special category for duals. So you will say indi kitabani. Indi kitabani. I have 2 books. Kam qalaman indaki. How many pens do you have? It's addressing to a female. The question is to the female. Kam qalaman indaki. Okay. How many pens? Though qalaman is singular, but it is tamyeez. That's why it is always written singular and is followed by kam. Kam qalaman indaki. Now again you say, I have 2 pens. So what will be the answer? I have 2 pens. Indi qalamani. Indi qalamani. Well done. Indi qalamani. Kam akhan laka. Kam akhan laka. How many brothers do you have? Kam akhan laka. How many brothers do you have? What will be the answer for this? Li akhawani. Well done, Brother Asaf. Li akhawani. Why li here? Because here we are dealing with a permanent relationship. I told you, inda is used when someone is in the vicinity, physical presence of a person. But when it comes to li, it shows a permanent relationship. Now, when it comes to brother, here obviously the question is not asking him whether brother is with you physically now, but the question says, how many brothers do you have? Now, those brothers can be with him physically there, or they can be totally like 12 hours away from them. So you will use li akhawani. Kam ukhtan laka. Kam ukhtan laka. I have 2 sisters. Kam ukhtan laka means how many sisters do you have? Now give the answer, I have 2 sisters. What will be the answer for that? What will be the answer for that? Yes, Sister Arush, yes. Li, okay. Now I have given a different answers to you. Here I am saying I have 3 sisters. Your answer is correct, Sister Arushia. Your answer is correct because I asked you for the answer for 2 sisters. But I have given here, I have 3 sisters. Li thalathu akhawatin. Now, the moment I'm using thalathu means 3, I'm going to talk about numbers, but just for your knowledge, those who don't know the Arabic numbers, just know that thalathu means 3. Thalathu means 3. The moment I'm saying 3, I'm using what? Plural form of ukhtan, ukhtun. So I'm saying li thalathu akhawati. Okay. No, your answer was correct, Sister Rushia, because I asked you for that I have 2 sisters. So this is not correct. Li ukhtun salasatun. No, that's not correct. I'm going to talk about these numbers and how these numbers are corrected, are how these phrases are written. Here it's talking about other than ma'dud. So I'm going to talk about that. So, but this answer, li ukhtun salasatun, that's correct. That's incorrect. Okay. Kam haqibatan indaka. How many bags? Now haqibatan again singular, but it's what? Tamyeez. What? It's tamyeez. So how many bags do you have? Now you can say, I have 2 bags. I have 2 bags. So what will be the answer for that? I have 2 bags. عندي حقيبتان. Very good. عندي حقيبتان. Well done. عندي حقيبتان. Good. كم مسجدا في هذا الشارع? How many masjids are there on this road? How many masjids are there in this road? You can say in it are two masajid. You can say that are two masjids. عنده. Inda is something. Now here it's talking about fi hadha shari'i. Okay, sister Russia. So inda means something which is in close vicinity of something. Now it's talking about the road. On this road, in this road, how many masjids are there? So you say fihi, yes. Or you can say fi hadha shari'i. That's also correct. Fi hadha shari'i. That's also correct. Or you can say fihi, simple. Fihi masjidani. That's correct. Fihi masjidani. And I have given a different answer here. Fihi masjidun wahidun. In it is one masjid. Fihi masjidun wahidun. Now I have purposefully given these two different examples, brothers and sisters. One is this, li thalathu akhawatin, and one is this. Because I'm going to teach about this today, inshallah. I'm going to teach about these topics, inshallah, today. Okay, brothers and sisters? So, this is just for the knowledge for you in advance. Kam sayyaratan fi baytika. How many cars are in your house? How many cars are in your house? Your answer should be, in it are two cars. In it are two cars. Or you can say, in my house are two cars. Yes. Fihi sayyaratani. Fihi sayyaratani. Okay. Now, there are two things when it comes to numbers. There are two things when it comes to numbers. Oh, sorry, before I go there, let's know the numbers. Let's get familiar with the numbers of Arabic language. Now, one is called wahidun, two is called ithnani, three is called thalathatun, four is called arba'atun, five is called khamsatun, six is called sittatun, seven is called sab'atun, eight is called thamaniyatun, nine is called tis'atun, and 10 is called asharatun. 10 is called asharatun. Now, normally, when you are counting numbers, you don't take this, you don't pronounce the sign of the last letter. So how will you say wahid, ithnan, thalatha, arba'a, khamsa, sitta, sab'a, samaniya, tis'a, ashara? This is how you will say wahid. In some countries, this ithnan is pronounced as ithnan. Now, when you go from region to region in different countries, these numbers are said in different. Okay, but this is the most common thing that is mentioned in the textbooks, so I'm taking that. Okay, because in Arabic language, even numbers, they have gender. In Arabic language, even numbers, they have gender. So what is the gender of wahid? What do you guess? Wahid. This wahidun. What do you think? Is it muzakkar or muannas? In English, there is no gender. Yes, this is muzakkar. Ithnan, this is also muzakkar. What about thalatha? No. Okay, that is different. We are going to take it later on, brother. That is first. Okay, Abdul Hussein. That's not. Now I'm talking about counting now. So Ida is something we are going to do it later on. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Ida is. Yeah. Sorry. You mean feminine of that? Maybe you are saying feminine is Ida. Yes, you are right. Yes, brother. Yes, you are right. Yeah, that's right. So what about thalatha and arba and khamsa? These are what? These are all muannas. These are all muannas because they are ending with ta marbuta. They are all ending with ta marbuta. But this is how the Arabic people they read. They start like this: wahid ithnain. Some in my country they say ithnain here where I'm staying. And then from third, they pronounce all in muannas. ثلاثة أربعة خمسة ستة سبعة ثمانية تسعة عشرة. Okay. So it can vary. Okay. It can vary from country to country. But this is the most common thing. You can remember this. You have to memorize this. You have to memorize these numbers. You have to memorize. So go back and open this YouTube and keep on memorizing these numbers. Or you can take the screenshot of this and keep on memorizing because this is very useful. A lot of sentences will come with numbers and you have to know that. Okay. So a lot of sentences will come with numbers. Now I'm going to talk about gender of the numbers. Wahid, wahidatun, muannas. Okay. Ithnani, ithnatani. These are the muzakkar and muannas form of that. Okay. These are the muzakkar and muannas form of that. So wahid is muzakkar, wahida is muannas. Ithnani is muzakkar and ithnatani is muannas. Now 1 and 2 are dealt very differently. And that's why I'm highlighting them in red color in Arabic language. Now, when it is to do with 1 and 2, then if I want to say something that I have 1 pen, or if I want to say I have 2 books, okay, in that case, I have to, the thing that I'm counting, that is called ma'dood. So books, if I'm saying 2 books, so books is ma'dood. Ma'dood means the thing that is counted. And actual count, the number itself, like 1 or 2 is called adad. Okay, al-adad is the number and the thing that is counted is called ma'dood. So when you are dealing with 1 and 2 numbers, so if you are saying 1 pen, 2 books, and 1 car, and 2 men, 2 women, 2 girls, 1 girl, 1 boy, all these are boy, girl, pen, car, all these are ma'dood. All these are ma'dood. And 1 and 2 number that's coming is called adad. Adad means any number, okay, any count. So the relationship between adad and ma'dood is na'at manut. The relationship between adad and ma'dood is na'at manut. Take an example. I will give 2 types of examples for muzakkar as well as muannas. So if I want to say 1 student, so I will say, and that is muzakkar. So I say talibun wahidun. Talibun wahidun. 1 student. So ma'dood is man'ut, the thing that is counted, and adat comes as a naat. And adat comes as a naat. Understood, brothers and sisters? Talibun wahidun. What is the relationship between naat and man'ut? What is the relationship between naat and man'ut? Naat and man'ut, they follow in all four properties of ism. They follow all four properties of ism. And what are those four properties of ism? What are those four properties of ism? Naat and man'ut, they follow all four properties of ism. Adad, jins, qism, i'rab. Well done. All these four properties. So this is rafa. In the halat of rafa, so wahidin is also rafa. This is muzakkar, wahidun is also muzakkar. This is singular, wahidun is also singular. Okay, so they follow all the four properties. So when you are dealing with one or two count of anything, then the relationship is always naat man'ut. Naat and man'ut. Another example, Talibani ithnani. Two students. Talibani ithnani. Two students. Okay. Talibani is again, it indicates two students, but again for stress you are saying ithnani. Talibani ithnani means you are stressing it more. Otherwise, Talibani itself means two students. Okay, there is no need to say ithnani, but sometimes it is written in the sentence like that. Okay, Talibani ithnani. Let's take the example of muannas. Talibatun wahidatun. Talibatun wahidatun. Okay, one student but female. So naat man'ut. The same way, Talibatan ithnatani. Okay, Talibatan ithnatani means two students. So this is the relationship when it comes to adad and ma'dud for 1 and 2. Okay, for wahid and ithna. For wahid and ithna. Understood, brothers and sisters? Clear? Now I'm going to talk about 3 plus. Okay, if this is clear, I'm going to go to the next slide. Okay, so let's see the gender for all the from 1 to 10. So we are only dealing in these books, in this first book, from 1 to 10 numbers only. The other numbers will be inshallah coming in second book, but in book number 1, in this course we are only dealing with 1 to 10 numbers. So the muzakkar of 1 is wahidun and the muannas is wahidatun. The muzakkar of 2 is ithnani and the muannas of that is ithnatani. Okay, now let's see for 3. What will be the muzakkar of 3? Any guess? What will be the muzakkar for 3? Yes. Thalathun is muzakkar. Thalathun is muzakkar and thalathatun is muannas. Now 4. Arba'un, arba'atun. Khamsun, khamsatun. Sittun, sittatun. Sab'un, sab'atun. Tis'un, thamanin or thamani. Okay, so there are 2 words for 8, thamanin or thamani. Okay, remember this, thamanin or thamani for muzakkar. Thamaniyatun, muannas, thamaniyatun, muannas. Tis'un, 9, tis'atun. Okay. So these are all the muzakkar and muannas forms. So when you are talking about only muzakkar, wahidun, ithnan, thalathun, arba'un, khamsun, sittun, sab'un, thamanin, tis'un, and ashrun, asharatun. Okay, ashrun, asharatun. And when it comes to muannas, it is wahidatun, ithnatani, thalathatun, arba'atun, khamsatun, sittatun, sab'atun, thamaniyatun, tis'atun, asharatun. Okay, these are the genders. Now these genders are you have to know. It's necessary to know how numbers are pronounced in as muzakkar and how numbers are pronounced in muannas. It's very important to know. You have to remember this. You have to memorize this, brothers. Okay, so wahidun, wahidatun, ithnani, ithnatani, thalathun, thalathatun, arba'un, arba'atun, khamsun, khamsatun, sittun, sittatun, sab'un, sab'atun, thamanin, thamaniyatun, tis'un, tis'atun, ashrun, asharatun. Okay, this is how you need to remember this. Okay, now we will see how we will deal with other than ma'dud when it comes to 3 to 10. When it comes to 3 to 10, other than ma'dud, if you are talking about count of something, so when it is 3 to 10, then the relationship between other than ma'dud is not naat manut, rather it is mudaf mudaf ilayh. See, don't be confused. The relationship between other than ma'dud when it comes to 1 and 2 is naat manut. But when it comes to 3 to 10, it is mudaf mudaf ilayh. Okay, brothers and sisters, is it clear? When it is 3 to 10, it is mudaf mudaf ilayh. Clear or not? Okay. So the adad will be mudaf when it is in mudaf mudaf ilayh. Adad will be mudaf, and hence adad will never take al, nor it will take tanween, because that's the rule of mudaf. Mudaf has two no's. One is no al and one is no tanween. So adad will never take al and tanween. Remember this. And ma'dud is always majroor. Why? Because it will be mudaf ilayh. Ma'dud is always majroor because it is mudaf ilayh. Okay. Now these are the things you have to remember. Now ma'dud will be always jama. Ma'dud will be always jama. When it comes to 1 and 2, it was naat man'ud. So when you're dealing with one thing, then it will be singular. When you're dealing with two things, it will be plural. So it will be what? Okay. So when it was two things, then it was dual, not plural. But when it comes to 3 to 10, ma'dud will be pronounced as jama. Okay, it will be jama. It will not be singular or dual or anything. Now this is the important thing. If ma'dud is muzakkar, then adad will be muannas. And if ma'dud is muannas, adad will be muzakkar. I know there are too many rules, but it will be very simple for you, brothers and sisters, if you will see the examples. It will be very simple, inshallah. You have to remember these rules. It's very important. It looks difficult to you now, but inshallah it will be clear to you. Don't worry. Okay. Is this clear? All these points are clear? Any difficulty in understanding these points? Okay. Now, let me take example. Okay. Now I'll take for both al-ma'dud as muzakkar and al-ma'dud as muannas. Al-ma'dud as muzakkar and al-ma'dud as muannas. ثلاثة طلاب. What kind of relationship do you see here? First, see the relationship. What kind of relationship do you have here? This is mudaf mudaf ilayh. This is adad. I said adad is always mudaf. So this is adad. This is the count. Three. Thalathatu, three. Three students. Talibun is singular. Tullabun is plural. Right? Now it is tullabin here. It is majroor. Why it is majroor? Because it is mudaf ilay. And it is mudaf ilay. Now this is tullabun is plural of talibun and it is muzakkar. Tullabun is muzakkar. It is masculine. When ma'dud is muzakkar, adad should be muannas. I don't know why this is taken in Arabic language this way, but this is how they deal with it. This is how they deal with it. This is the rule. Okay, clear? So when the ma'dud is muzakkar, adad is muannas. Clear? And this is mudaf mudaf ilayh. Thalathatu tullabin. But what was the case with singular? It was not man'ud. Kitabun wahidun. It was not man'ud. Kitabun wahidun. One book. Both of them are taking same signs. Both of them are in the halat of rafa. Both of them are having same gender. Both are adud and ma'dud. But here it is opposite. Here it is adad is muannas and ma'dud is muzakkar. That is the rule. Thalathatu tullabin. Three male students. Three male students. Arba'atu rijalin. Four men. Arba'atu rijalin. Rijalun is plural of rajulun. Rijalun is plural of rajulun. Arba'atu rijalin. Clear, brothers and sisters? Khamsatu kutubin. Khamsatu kutubin. Five books. Five books. Sittatu abwabin. Six doors. Sittatu abwabin. Six doors. Indi sab'atu aqlamin. I have 7 pens. Sab'atu means 7. Indi sab'atu aqlamin. I have 7 pens. Pen is, aqlamun is jama of qalamun. Aqlamun is jama of qalamun and it is muzakkar. Qalam, the gender of qalam is muzakkar. So the count is sab'atu. It is muannas. I have 7 pens. Li tis'atu a'mamin. Li tis'atu a'mamin. I have 9 paternal uncles. I have 9 paternal uncles, chachas. Okay, in Urdu we call them chacha. I have 9 chachas. Li tis'atu a'mamin. ثمن هذا الكتاب 8 ريالات. Price of this book is 8 riyals. 8 ريالات. I told you riyalun is muzakkar in Arabic language, but its plural is written as riyalat. Riyalatun. Okay, but riyal is muzakkar. That's why we are using thamaniyatu. Brothers and sisters, are these examples clear to you? Price of this or cost of this book is 8 riyals. Is this clear? Okay, let's take few examples of muannas. Salasu sayyaratin, 3 cars. Now we are dealing with feminine genders. But see, adad is muzakkar. Adad is muzakkar. Salasu sayyaratin, 3 cars. And the sayyaratun is plural of sayyaratun. Okay. Arba'u nisa'in, 4 women. Arba'u nisa'in, 4 women. This is again muzakkar, but nisa'in is woman, feminine. Okay. Khamsu kalimatin, 5 words. Khamsu kalimatin, 5 words. Kalimatun is singular and kalimatun is plural. Okay. Sittu sa'atin, 6 watches. Sittu sa'atin, 6 watches. Indi sab'u darrajatin, I have 7 bicycles. Indi sab'u darrajatin, I have 7 bicycles. Thamanu hadha al-kitabi thamani urubiyatin. The cost of this book is 8 rupees. The cost of this book is 8 rupees, thamani, or you can also write this as thamanin. You can also write this as thamanin. Okay. Li tis'u ammatin, I have 9 aunts, paternal aunts, means pupus. Okay. I have 9 paternal aunts. في هذا الفصل 10 طالبات, in this class are 10 female students. In this class are 10 female students. I hope this is clear, brothers and sisters. If any difficulty in adad and ma'dud, tell me. So you deal differently with 1 and 2, and you deal differently from 3 to 10 when it comes to adad and ma'dud. Is it clear? Any confusion? I told you, no? Riyalun, see, you always see the gender of a singular. Riyalun is muzakkar. Riyalun is muzakkar. But see, all these riyals, all these are currencies that came afterwards. But how the Arabs have taken its plural, they have named its plural as riyalat. And that has been taken this way. It looks feminine, but it is muzakkar. So this is an exception. I told you that it's an exception thing for riyal. Okay. A little bit. So what is that little bit? You didn't understood, or little bit you understood? Sister Sana, you wrote little bit, little confusion. What is that confusion? You can clear the confusion now. I think you need to go through these slides again and again. Yeah, so this is how, I know it's very I found it very complicated when you deal with numbers in Arabic language. In English, it's so simple. I found it's very complicated. Even in Urdu, it's very simple. But in Arabic, especially they have genders to numbers. Subhanallah. I don't know. They give even genders to numbers. So Thalatha, what? If Thalatha? Okay. Thamanin. One minute. What was the answer? Before 3. Thamanin will become Thamanu rupees. No, this is, you will use, see, rubiyatin. This is again, rupees is taken as muannas in Arabic language. Okay. Rupees is taken as muannas in Arabic language. So that's why we are using samanin as the muzakkar form of 8. Okay, we are taking muzakkar form of 8. So there are two muzakkar for 8. Either you can say samani like this, or you can say samanin. Both of them are acceptable. Okay, so that's what I mentioned in the table before. I hope that was your question. I don't know, Ms. Sister Aisha. If Thalatha, Arabic giving full right to women, probably number is also muzakkar and also muannas. But Samanin cannot have tanween. Okay, so there is an explanation for that, Sister Aisha. Yeah. Okay, Samani Rubiyatin. Yes, so probably here you will not use Samanin, you will use Samani. Yes, probably you're right. Samani Rubiyatin. Can we analyze the last sentence? Last sentence, which one? There are more examples coming anyway. Samanu hadha al-kitabi samani rubiyatin. Okay, so the cost, samanu hadha is mudaf mudaf ilayh. Cost of this is mudaf mudaf ilayh. So this I will take, samanu hadha al-kitabi, I will take the whole thing as mubtada container. Okay, and samani rubiyatin, this is again mudaf mudaf ilayh combination. I will take this as khabar container. Siraj. Okay, so more example, li tis'u ammatin. Okay, I took this, but I don't know why it vanished. Okay, I think I took this all of them. Fi hadha al-fasli ashru talibat. I've taken this, right? Yes, al-kitab is badal. Yes, you are right, Siraj. This is badal. Fi hadha al-kitab. That is musharun ilayh. So cost of this book. Yes, it is mabni. Okay. Okay. So Khalid has two sons and two daughters. Just few examples in 2 minutes left. Tell me the answers quickly. Khalid has two sons and two daughters. Very simple sentences. Tell me in Arabic. You can write it in the chat, your answers. Very simple sentence. It's not a difficult one. I know you can make it. Okay, to save time, I will tell it. Khalidun lahu bnani wa bintani. Okay. Khalid has two sons, ibnani, and two daughters, wa bintani. Okay. Khalidun lahu bnani wa bintani. Okay. Fatima has two small children. Fatima has two small children. Fatimatu laha tiflani saghirani. Fatimatu laha tiflani saghirani. Prayer of Fajr are 2 rakat. Prayer of Fajr. Iflani Savira. No, no, you cannot be. See, the Ma'dud. Yes, Ma'dud is always uh, Man'ud. Remember. Okay. Ma'dud is always Man'ud. Okay. Prayer of Fajr are 2 rakat. So Salatul Fajri raka'atani. Salatul Fajri raka'atani. I have 2 eyes, 2 ears, 2 hands, and 2 feet. What is the answer? Li Ainani. Baden. Okay. The rule of Arabic is when you have a list of items but separated by comma, then what? What is the rule? I told you when I was teaching you harfu ataf. I was teaching you. You always put wa in between. Yes. So you will say li ainani wa udunani wa yadani wa rijlani. Okay. So this is not correct to say li ainani yadani rijlani. That's not correct. In Arabic, you always put wa, and there is a list of items separated by commas. Okay. So we stop here. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Tomorrow we'll continue with the slides. There are a lot of topics still left. Barakallahu.